The 2023 season had some unforgettable moments. From record-setting achievements to injuries and disappointments, let's count down the top 5 moments of the 2023 NFL season. Let's start with Week 1, Aaron Rodgers. When the New York Jets picked up the 4-time MVP and future Hall of Fame quarterback, they were hoping he was going to change the trajectory for the New York Jets organization. When news broke about Aaron Rodgers being traded to the New York Jets, it rocked the entire NFL. And thanks to HBO's Hard Knocks, the eyes of the football world were on the New York Jets for the first time in a long time. The NFL game schedule was planned with Aaron Rodgers in mind, and every football fan across the country was tuned in to watch Monday Night Football on the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. The New York Jets kicked off their season at home against the Buffalo Bills with Aaron Rodgers as their starting quarterback. Just 4 plays into his first game as a New York Jet, Aaron Rodgers took a sack from Leonard Floyd and blew his Achilles. In the blink of an eye, all the hard work and sacrifice put in by the New York Jets during the offseason suddenly meant nothing. While Aaron Rodgers' injury wasn't the only quarterback injury this year, it definitely set the tone for the quarterback landscape this season. Multiple quarterbacks, including Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Anthony Richardson, Justin Herbert, and others either suffered a season-ending injury or missed significant playing time. Number 4, the Dolphins' 70-point game. Week 3 was definitely one for the record books for the Miami Dolphins. The Denver Broncos went down to Miami in Week 3 to face Tyreek Hill and company, and they got absolutely slaughtered.
What the hell happened down there? Some kind of horse massacre?
The Denver Broncos didn't stand a chance. It seriously felt like the Dolphins had turned up all the game sliders in Madden, and Mike McDaniels, who was once a Broncos water boy and now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, had some scores to settle. And in Week 3, the Miami Dolphins were absolute savages. Against the Broncos, the Dolphins etched their name in NFL history by becoming the first team ever to score 70 points and rack up over 700 yards of offense in a single game. Miami's 726 yards set a franchise record for the most yards in a single game, and they joined an elite group as only the 3rd team in NFL history to hit the 70-point mark in a regular season contest. The Dolphins came ridiculously close to breaking the all-time record for points scored in a single game, falling just 3 points short. Number 3, CJ Stroud and his rookie season. Week 9 was the best performance ever by a rookie quarterback. Ever. Literally, ever. CJ Stroud passed for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns in a Week 9 game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game was wild. With a final score of 39-37, the winning play came on a clutch 15-yard throw from CJ Stroud to Tank Dell with just 6 seconds left. It was a crazy back-and-forth game all the way down to the wire, but in the end, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans got the W in that one. On top of CJ Stroud's record-breaking game, CJ Stroud also became the youngest quarterback ever to win an NFL playoff game when the Texans beat the Browns 45-14 in this year's Wild Card weekend. The Houston Texans as a whole had a great turnaround season thanks to CJ Stroud and their rookie head coach DeMeco Ryans. In their first year, Ryans and Stroud helped the Texans go beyond their low expectations coming into the 2023 season. For a team projected to win just 6 games, the Texans finished the regular season with a 10-7 record. Number 2, DaRon Bland. In his second year, DaRon Bland made NFL history with 5 pick sixes, bringing brightness to a pretty lackluster Cowboys season. DaRon Bland started as a fill-in nickel cornerback for the injured Jordan Lewis last season, and as a rookie, he picked up 5 interceptions. Drafted in 2022 from Sacramento State, he seamlessly transitioned to playing the outside corner position. And since his debut in 2022, Bland leads the NFL with 12 interceptions, 7 of which came in the 2023 season, which for him are a career high and ended up being the league's most interceptions this year. Despite this being his first year as an outside cornerback, Bland's performance this season made it onto this list. DaRon Bland matched regular season touchdown totals with Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, and Chris Olave this year. DaRon Bland wrapped up his scoring spree in Week 12 with his 5th pick 6 of the season in the Cowboys' win over the Washington Commanders on Thanksgiving Day, setting a new NFL record for the most interception touchdowns in a single season. Now, before we get to number 1, we have to give our honorable mentions for the 2023 season. Let's start with Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua broke the rookie record for receiving yards and catches this season. He finished his rookie season with 1,486 receiving yards and 105 receptions. Great job by the rookie to break those records, and I expect Puka Nacua to be drafted pretty high in next year's fantasy drafts after this year's performance. The next honorable mention, Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers made it all the way to the playoffs this season without Aaron Rodgers, and they scored 48 points against the Dallas Cowboys as the youngest team in the NFL. The 48 points scored by the Green Bay Packers ties the Packers' all-time playoff record for points scored on the road in a playoff game. The Packers have played at AT&T Stadium 3 times in the NFC playoffs, and they've won all 3 games. They have more wins at AT&T Stadium during the playoffs than the Dallas Cowboys do. Ouch. The next honorable mention goes to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions had themselves a great 2023 year, reaching an NFC Championship game for the first time since 1992. While they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, you gotta give this unit some credit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta, these guys are going to keep the Lions relevant for a long time, and if they all stay to run it back next year, I expect to see the Lions back in the playoffs in 2024. The next honorable mention goes to the Baltimore Ravens defense. The 2023 Ravens defense is the first defensive unit in NFL history to lead the league in points allowed, sacks, and takeaways. The Triple Crown season puts this Ravens defense up there with the Legion of Boom and the Steel Curtain of the 70s. An amazing achievement for any defensive unit. And the last honorable mention goes to Taylor Swift, who brought millions of new viewers to the NFL. For a moment there, some people went as far as saying that Taylor Swift was hurting the sport of football, when in reality, she helped pique the national interest around football in more ways than you would think. Congratulations to you, Taylor, and your newfound love with Travis Kelce. I wish nothing but the best for the both of you in the future. Let's get back to our list. Number 1, the end of an era. The 2023 NFL season saw some interesting moments, and typically when the season ends, coaching changes are normal, but this year was a little different. With a total of 8 head coaches being fired this season, this turnover marked the highest number of head coach firings in a single season. These are all the coaches who were fired in 2023 in order from when they were fired. Josh McDaniels of the Las Vegas Raiders, Frank Reich of the Carolina Panthers, Brandon Staley of the Los Angeles Chargers, Arthur Smith of the Atlanta Falcons, Ron Rivera of the Washington Commanders, Mike Vrabel of the Tennessee Titans, Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks, and the most notable of which being Bill Belichick of the New England Patriots. This originally wasn't going to make it onto the list, but Bill Belichick holds the record for the most championships in NFL history. And his departure, alongside with Pete Carroll and the other coaches that I just mentioned, marks the end of an era. If you guys think I missed anything on this list, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Until next time, you're watching Football Nation. Let's effing go.